McAllen Independent School District will be held Monday, January 9th, 2023, beginning at 5 p.m. here in the Dr. Ricardo Chapa Boardroom of the Administration Building at the McAllen Independent School District Administration Offices, 2000 North 23rd Street, McAllen, Texas, 78501. Items listed on this agenda may be taken in another order other than shown as on the agenda, and unless removed from the consent agenda, items identified within the consent agenda will be acted upon at one time. At this time, there may be discussion and action by the board on the items and subjects listed as follows. Item number 1, call the meeting to order. Item number 2, invocation. I'd like to ask Trustee Marco Suarez to please lead us in our invocation today.
Dear God, we have come to you in your name to work together as a good for our school. Stay with us with your invisible presence and pour your spirit upon us. Make us use your gift and spirit and trust and guidance and a spirit to understand each other so that our children in our district may experience the abundance of learning, compassion, and peace. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Trustee Conrado Alvarado, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance,
Absolutely.
please?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. President, as we start and get going, I just want to say it's great to see all the purple here. I know we have a formal Mackay Bulldog playing tonight for TCU, so we're really excited, and hopefully he wins the championship representing, for TCU and representing McAllen ISD. So I just want to say that before we get started.
Just don't say Bulldog because the Georgia Bulldogs, so we'll just stick with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, if we can
I
get
don't
the
think
meeting
so, sir.
started, we'll be able to try to do that. All right, we're going to move on.
As long as we get a play-by-play. And just for the record, I did not get the memo about wearing purple tonight, so I apologize.
It was
But
on social
go.
media, sir.
I was working today, so didn't see it. I'm sorry. So go TCU.
Item number 4 is public comments. The board encourages public comments at all board meetings. According to board policy, BED local board meetings, public participation, and related to the district's administrative procedures and practices. 1, persons wanting to make a statement to the board are required to register with the superintendent secretary 1 hour prior to the start of the scheduled meeting, so that time is closed. 2, audience participation at a board meeting is limited to the early stages of a meeting. At all other times during a board meeting, the audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on matters being considered by the board unless requested. 3, each participant is limited to 2 minutes per meeting to make comments to the board. 4, at regular board meetings like this one, the board shall permit public comments regardless of whether the topic is an item on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. 5, all other board meetings, public comment shall be limited to only items on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. 6, the board shall not deliberate or decide regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda posted with the notice of the meeting. If an issue is mentioned is on the agenda, the board will defer discussion of the issue until the appropriate time during the meeting. Number 7, should the speaker drift from the stated subject or becomes disruptive or abusive, he or she shall be given 1 warning. If a second warning is required, then the speaker may forfeit the remaining time allotment. The board shall not tolerate disruption of the meeting by members of the audience. Number 8, the board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure at the lowest administrative level a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns. Please refer to the following policies. Student and/or parent complaints is policy FNG, Frank, New, Guy. Employees, policy DGBA, that's policy Dog, Gilbert, Billy, and Apple. And citizens is policy GF, that is policy as in Guy and Friend. Copies of the district policies are available at the MISD website at McAllenISD.org. Without further ado, we will get to our public comments. Our first speaker is Adam Adcock Perez, the positive impact of Rachel Castillo Ruiz on McAllen ISD Fine Arts and McAllen High School. Mr. Pettis, your time will start when you do.
Thank you. When we were young, we were told that bad things should not happen to good people, and that people who work hard and do the right thing will be successful. I can tell you that Rachel Castillo is one of those good people. For 26 years, Rachel has been a great teacher, coach, mentor, and colleague to those around her. I've been fortunate enough to have worked with Rachel for 8 years. She's always been the kindest and most welcoming person. Her students respect and appreciate her, and she has positively shaped the lives of thousands of students. I come here pleading with you all to not reassign Rachel Castillo from her position as the director of the Steppers. Moving her in order to appease parents would undermine our ideals of meritocracy and fairness. Please don't let a bad thing happen to a good person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pettis. Next, we have Henry Castillo, support of Rachel D. Castillo Ruiz. Mr. Castillo, your time will start when you do.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, school board. Dr. Gonzalez, my name's Henry Castillo. I'm a former McAllen ISD employee for 31 years. And as stated, I'm here in support of my sister, Rachel Castillo, in regards to her removal as the director of the Steppers. And I just want to tell you the good things about Rachel, because that's just about all there is to her good. She's super smart, very organized, super talented, and most of all cares about people, cares about all her students. It's no surprise that the Steppers have become the super talented group they are today, under her supervision and guidance throughout the years. And as I worked with Rachel, but she's, in McHigh for 22 years. But as my sister, I can tell you she's just a wonderful person. And probably the thing I can tell you the most about her is that she cares about people. She cares about how people feel, treats everybody with respect, always wants to solve problems in a positive manner, and tries to be the most positive person she can. And I really, the reason I'm here is I want to just, I'm hoping that the decision to remove her as the Stepper director gets reversed, because for me it's just crazy. And everybody I talk to, we're all in shock. How is this happening? It just doesn't make sense.
30 seconds.
I think the decision to remove her is wrong. It's unfair. It's disappointing to see this decision being made here in McAllen ISD. Not only is my sister suffering in our family, but her students, the Steppers, are suffering right now because of the decision.
10 seconds.
So I hope you do the right thing and reverse the decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Next, we welcome Robert Ruiz in support of Rachel Castillo Ruiz.
Hold it up. Here we go.
Good evening. My name is Robert Reese, and I'm Rachel's husband. My wife, Rachel, has been the director of the McAllen Steppers for the last 26 years and the dance teacher for over 15 years. The delivery of her reassignment came in the form of a letter and no explanation other than it was a business decision or moving in a different direction. This unjust decision was signed by the superintendent and was a traumatic event for my wife. My concern is the decision-making process and the policies that were used to support this reassignment. My wife now suffers from emotional distress imposed by this unjust reassignment. Being told to report to a different school the next day without explanation is not how teachers should be treated. This decision was made without knowing anything about Ms. Castillo. I say her name as Castillo because that is a name that her legacy is built on. The photos on the walls and her portable tell a different story of how much she cares for her students. She has a history of steppers and dance students throughout the years. I bet there isn't another teacher in the District or Valley that can say the same. My wife was eligible for retirement 3 years ago. However, her pride in McAllen and McAllen ISD were not the only reasons she hasn't retired. The dance students and the steppers are her pride and joy. She has a heart of gold and is always working extra hours, planning, organizing, and ensuring that the children receive the best from her and the program. There is no middle school program, but she did meet with the superintendent,
30
and he
seconds.
supported it. What happened? We don't know. The superintendent and board members were present for the proclamation after the 50th anniversary of the Steppers over a year ago. Her legacy as the McAllen Stepper director and dance teacher has now been tarnished. Recent events and documentation show empirical evidence that parents have been harassing
10
and bullying my
seconds.
wife, her assistant, and at least students this year. I am a combat veteran, but my wife is my hero and all teachers as well. I thank you for their service. Board members need to reinstate her immediately. Do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we welcome Aisha Gonzalez. Her topic is Rachel Castillo.
Good evening. I would like to start by thanking you for giving me this opportunity today to express my thoughts and feelings. I hope all of you know how much I respect each of you for the love, guidance, and time that you put in daily to make McAllen ISD what it is today. McAllen ISD holds a very special part of my heart, from being a student at Milam, Lincoln, Morris, graduating from Mac High, to working at Mac High for 16 years, and ultimately for trusting the district with my two most precious gifts from God. I trust McAllen ISD and all it stands for. I know that the district always has my and my children's best interests at heart. My family and I are McAllen ISD. This is why I stand before you today. The district that I love and hold near and dear to my heart needs to know that the treatment of one of their most loyal and trustworthy teachers needs to be revisited. Not only because it's the right thing to do, but also there are over 1,600 teachers in the district watching and waiting to see what happens in a case such as this.
1 minute.
I have spoken to an alarming number of concerned MISD teachers who are feeling let down and worried that if something like this could happen to a 26-year veteran, loyal MISD teacher who has never had any issues or write-ups, then what will happen to them if they're ever in a similar situation? It hurts me to know that the teachers that I adore, the district that I love, are feeling this way. We need our teachers to know that the district and the community supports them and cares for them. Why else would a teacher want to spend their entire career at one district
30
giving
seconds.
and giving and giving of themselves? I'm talking about a program that Rachel Castillo has grown and fostered for over 26 years, the amazing award-winning Mac High Steppers. Ms. Castillo is a teacher that has always set her life aside to make sure her students have what they need to succeed. She's put in countless hours in making this program a success. It's become that it is today. I have had the privilege of calling her my friend for over 20 years. 16 of these years, I was fortunate to work alongside her and learn from her on what it takes to be an A++ teacher and classroom counselor. She played an integral part in showing me with her actions what a successful and caring teacher looks like. Ms. Castillo has dedicated her entire working career to McAllen ISD and the Mac High Steppers. I hope you will do the right thing and listen to her.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Alexandria Posada to talk about Rachel Castillo Ruiz.
Hi, my name is Alexandria Posada, a proud product of MISD and a local business owner. I am here to comment on the removal of Rachel Castillo Ruiz as the Mac High Steppers director. First of all, 2 minutes is not enough time to describe the positive impact Rachel has had in my life. It was an honor to be a stepper under her direction from 2005 to 2008. As a coach, she was tough but fair, and most importantly, caring. Those are all qualities of any great coach, and because she was a great coach, she taught us so much more than just being a stronger dancer. She taught us skills that we all use daily, from time management skills to working together to reach a common goal, even though we all have different personality types and strengths. When I read the horrible things that were being written about her, I was appalled. I had the opportunity to speak to several former steppers from many different years, and they all said the same thing. If those statements were true, then why would so many dancers audition year after year to be Mac High Steppers with Rachel as a director?
1 minute.
Rachel always encouraged us and was our biggest supporter. She would always cheer us on, even if we had a bad practice, bad performance, or even just a bad day. She taught us that life isn't always fair, that maybe we don't always get it our way, but she reminded us to never stop working hard for what we want, whether it's a promotion at work or a spot on the dance team. When we got a phone call that she was organizing the Mac High Stepper 50th anniversary celebration, decades of dancers showed up for her like she always showed up for us.
30 seconds.
And that's why I'm standing here today, to show up for her. I'm standing up here voicing the opinions of steppers that couldn't make it and saying what a mistake has been made here. Rachel is a wonderful director and should continue to be. I was lucky to have Mrs. Castillo, as we all still call her, as a coach, and I hope that other dancers get the same opportunity I did.
Speaker number 7 is Mauro Ruiz, and this is to address cyberbullying.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Mauro Ruiz, and my law firm was retained by Mac High families to be here today. These Mac High families want to first thank the district for investigating and then putting a stop to abusive practices by Ms. Castillo, the former director of the Mac High Steppers. Before the district's involvement, Mac High Steppers, and I mean from this past fall semester, suffered manipulation, retaliation, and other mind games. The children witnessed tantrums by Ms. Castillo, including the throwing of a chair before getting on a bus with her for a 3-hour drive to a football game. The mistreatment of these young females caused many of them to quit.
Excuse me, sir, we're going to hold your time a second.
I believe that this may constitute a complaint against an employee and should be taken up through one of the appropriate policies.
That would be through policy DGBA.
Can I continue?
Legal is telling us that you'd have to follow a different path, sir.
Okay, I'll follow a different path.
Okay? So you can file a complaint through policy DGBA, and that'll set up your process there.
Or
Okay,
FNG
can I
if
continue?
it's a parent complaint.
Or FNG if a student and parent
Right.
complaint.
Well, I'm here to talk about the cyberbullying. I was just about to get to it. That's not really specific to anybody.
What he calls it does not matter. It's the content. It's clearly in my opinion, and it's my recommendation.
We apologize for that, Mr. Ruiz. We have to follow the advice of counsel.
Okay, thank you
Right.
very much for your evening, and thank you for your leadership. It's appreciated by many McAllen families.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we'd like to bring Susan Thomas here to discuss Rachel Castillo Ruiz.
Good evening. I'm Susan Thomas. I'm the director at Nicky Rowe High School. I have been a teacher with McAllen ISD for 30-plus years. Rachel is a colleague of mine, a true friend that I have gotten to know really well over the years. And I have to say, I was shocked when I found out what has happened to her. She is the most caring, loving, vivacious person that I know. In no way has she ever done anything that she is being accused of. And I know this because I've known this person for a very, very long time. I did not prepare a speech. I just want to speak from the heart, so bear with me. My first teaching assignment was at McAllen High School, and I was the stepper director for 4 years there before transferring over to Nicky Rowe Tiaras. We put in a lot of hours. We deal with a lot of students. We play fair. We give them what they need. And Rachel is that type of person. She has run a stellar program year after year after year after year without blemishes.
30 seconds.
Hosted that 50th reunion for the Mac High Steppers, and I was invited as a former stepper director. And it was amazing. And then she received a proclamation from County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen for that. Okay, this is a true leader of our district. Okay, she has been treated unfairly, And I ask you, please, to revisit this and make a change. Thank you.
Our next speaker, April E. Lopez, to discuss Rachel Castillo.
Good afternoon, guys. First and foremost, I want to say I was just speaking to Counselor that just left. I wasn't allowed to finish his statement. That I'm very, very proud and humbled to be part of this meeting today. I think that it's amazing that we can all come here and voice our opinions, voice our support or lack thereof towards Ms. Castillo and to the board. I appreciate everybody on the board. I don't know everybody. I've worked with some of you guys clinically. I'm a board-certified family nurse practitioner. I am a proud MISD product. I went to La Zavala, grew up in the barrio, then went to Brown, graduated, went to Mac High, graduated, got my associate degree from UTPA, got my master's degree, my bachelor's degree, then my master's degree. I have 2 masters. I own Lopez Family Clinic. A lot of you guys know me from the pandemic. We've been very, very involved, and that is who I am. I am a humble MISD member because now I have my children in MISD, and I'm very proud to say that the system works.
1 minute.
Grievances have been filed against Ms. Castillo. Grievances have been followed up on. The superintendent and his team, administration, have done amazing. Investigations have gone on, and I appreciate the fact that friends and family are here to support and previous steppers. But the fact is, I see no current steppers here in support of the teacher, of Ms. Castillo. I see, maybe they're here. Oh, okay.
30
yeah,
seconds.
the steppers that are not in support of Ms. Castillo are not here because they are the ones that have been mentally abused as per our grievances. We can't
Ma'am.
say that. I understand. Yeah, we can't say that, but there's grievances filed, and for those of the people that do not agree, I understand that. Yeah, you guys have your voice to speak, but if one child has felt they were treated unfairly, if one child has seen an inappropriate behavior from anybody, including clinicians in a clinic or in a hospital setting, 1/10 of this would not be tolerated. I am in awe of what I have seen, but I can tell you
Your
this.
time is up, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, and whoever's next up to speak. The council that wasn't able to finish, I thought that was a little unfair, but I feel like we should all agree to disagree, and even if you don't agree, everybody has a voice, so we
Thank you,
should
Ms.
all
Lopez.
clap. Thank you.
ma'am. Next, we welcome Nathaniel Rodriguez, who is here to talk about the removal of Mrs. Castillo Ruiz.
Towards the end of the last year of the 2022 school year, I was very proud and honored to have earned, emphasis on earned, the title of the Mac High Stepper Captain for the up-and-coming 2023 school year. I was very proud and honored to have made history as the first ever male Mac High Stepper Captain in all of the years of the Mac High Stepper establishment. And with such a title comes a great responsibility, a responsibility bound to come with challenges. However, amongst the many challenges I've had to endure, I should not have to endure the removal of my director, someone who is of guidance and of great importance in my mentorship and in leading me to be the best version of myself. MISD is very notable in teaching emotional intelligence to students. Ms. Rachel Castillo Ruiz teaches us self-awareness, how to be self-regulated, how to social skills, how to be motivated, and how to have empathy towards others. I am a student, current student, on the Mac High Stepper team. I stand here and I speak for many when I say that our mental and emotional well-being has been significantly affected.
1 minute.
I want to thank you for all the work that you do for the district. I want to thank you for all the time you put in to the district to making it to the best version, to the best possible that it can be. However, the job of the education system is for the students. You are all here, the school board, the principals, everybody who runs McAllen ISD is all here for the students, and the students are suffering. You're taking away a mentor, someone of great guidance, someone who has impacted over thousands of lives over the course of her teaching career. So I stand with many, and I speak for many students when I say we need Ms. Rachel Castillo Ruiz reinstated as the Mac High Stepper Director.
Next, we bring forth Cielo Soto on the reassignment of Rachel Castillo Ruiz.
Good evening. My name is Cielo Soto, and I was lucky enough to be under Rachel Castillo's direction from 2010 to 2014. Throughout my years at Mac High, I took dance class and was in steppers all 4 years. Just like most kids, high school is not the smoothest ride. We all have our personal struggles. What really helped me advance in high school and bring me motivation to get through my day was those 2 classes, dance and steppers. Besides dance, Rachel taught us how to be independent, mentally and physically strong, and work for what we want, work for our goals in life. I think there's many people out there that feel entitled, and they want things handed to them. Thank you, Ms. Castillo, for making the Stepper alumni feel appreciated, comfortable, and successful throughout the years under your direction. It truly is a blessing when you have an instructor make a positive impact in your life and teach you life skills before you get thrown out into the world. We were all blessed with Ms. Castillo. I'd like to end with a statement from Showtime International staff member, Ms. Victoria Barrera.
1 minute.
I had the wonderful opportunity to work with the Steppers through Ms. Castillo for Showtime International in the summer of 2021. Ms. Castillo has an outstanding reputation at Showtime International camps and competitions. She has always been known for her genuine care and commitment to her team, and it shows in their dancing. She is a positive role model to her team, and under her direction, the Steppers have always maintained a polished uniform and classy appeal.
30 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aniela Olivares Perez. She's here to show support for Rachel Castillo Ruiz.
Dear board members, I'm Aniela Olivares Perez, a community member and former stepper from 2008 to 2012, as well as stepper captain for 2 of those years. I am here to comment and in support of Ms. Rachel Castillo Ruiz. I have known Rachel, since about 1998, growing up in the dance community. Since then, I always dreamed of becoming a stepper and being under the direction of Rachel during my time at Mac High. And my dream did come true, and I had a great experience during my time as a stepper. Growing up, I have always known Rachel to be kind, encouraging, and a great coach and person on and off the dance stage. Some highlights of my time as a stepper include halftime and pregame performances at the San Antonio Spurs game, exciting dance competitions, awesome football halftime performances, holiday parade appearances, and performing at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, all positive experiences made possible under the direction and guidance of Rachel. I have always known Rachel to be fair and
1 minute.
just when making decisions that are in the team's and all of the steppers' best interests, which include the diversity, equity, and inclusion of all dance team members. I am not sure the extent to which you have investigated any of the claims against her, but her abrupt reassignment with no reason or investigation into the matter is unjust. Please take time to consider all the years and all the positive impacts that have been made by Rachel, both in the field as well as the classroom. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Crystal Escamilla, speaking on behalf of Mrs. Castillo Ruiz.
Good evening. My name is Crystal Escamilla, and I'm here to testify on behalf of Rachel Castillo, the Mac High Stepper drill team sponsor. Ms. Castillo was my folklorico teacher from 2002 to 2006 and was my drill team sponsor from 2004 to 2006. I can verify that as her student and member of the Mac High Stepper drill team, Ms. Castillo never addressed at the team in a rude or vulgar manner. She treated each member of the team with respect and created a positive environment of teamwork, friendship, and encouragement. She looked out for each one of us and treated us equally. My teammates and I looked up to her, thanks to Mrs. Castillo, Mrs. Castillo's training and inspiration. I became a dance teacher and drill team director, and I have been for the past 10 years. Also, I recently interviewed my niece, Rose Keller, who is a sophomore at Mac High and was in Mrs. Castillo's dance class.
1 minute.
Her freshman year, I quoted, "Mrs. Castillo was always kind to everyone and always had a smile on her face. She would say hi to me in the hallways and ask me about my day. There were days when I didn't believe in myself. She encouraged me to do my best and pushed me to thrive. My classmates and I miss her very much. Regarding the issue before the board today, it is my understanding that there are rumors throughout the community about her character. She was removed from her sponsor position
30 seconds.
based on the complaints of only a few parents and not the majority. The precedence that has been set with the decision is that the teachers of McAllen ISD are not supported, and any one of them can be replaced based on the complaint of a parent who doesn't get what they want. As a teacher, I urge you to stand by your teachers
10.
and have faith that they are doing what is best, especially someone like Rachel Castillo, who has been proven to be the best at what she does for the past 26 years. Thank you.
And with that, we will close tonight's public comment portion of the meeting.
Mr. President, I'd like to ask for a reorg, please.
Trustee Suarez, what can we reorg for you, sir?
I'd like to move item 10B up, please.
Item 10B, we have a motion and a second by Trustee Suarez and Trustee Saldivar. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it 6-1. Item 10B, discussion and possible action of proclamation regarding McAllen ISD Eduardo Reina Day. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. The district would like to proclaim January 9, 2023 as McAllen ISD Eduardo Reina Day. And we have our president that will give us more information about this honor. We're very proud of Mr. Reina and the 50 years of service that he's provided our district, Mr. President.
I'd like to invite Mr. Reina, Mr. Gutierrez to come on up, sir. The other Mr. Reina, Mario Reina, if you'll come up as well, sir.
Did y'all vote?
Board, can I get a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
We have an item and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it 7-0. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation reads, from the state of Texas, County of Hidalgo, McAllen Independent School District. Whereas Mr. Eduardo Reina has been a dedicated teacher for the last 50 years in McAllen ISD. Mr. Reina began teaching at Zavala Elementary and in 1980 attended the inauguration of Dorothea Brown Middle School, where he went above and beyond to ensure the continued education of the students. And whereas Mr. Reina was awarded Brown Middle School Teacher of the Year as well as McAllen ISD Teacher of the Year in 1993-94 and was a State Teacher of the Year finalist for the HEB Excellence in Education Award. In 1995, he was the Regional Teacher of the Year. And whereas Mr. Reina has been an ordained deacon with the Catholic Diocese of Brownsville for more than 20 years and has developed such a meaningful relationship with all students and their families that many of them have asked him to marry them in the Catholic Church or baptize their children. Therefore, I, Tony Forina, President of the Board of Trustees, McAllen Independent School District, do hereby proclaim the 9th of January 2023 as McAllen ISD Eduardo Reina Day. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the McAllen Independent School District to be affixed on this 9th day of January 2023, attested to by Marco Suarez, Board of Trustees Secretary. Mr. Reina, I had every intention of being at Brown Middle School on December the 20th when they did the formal honoring of you there. Unfortunately, my schedule collided and I was unable to attend. And for me, it was a priority to start off 2023 with this day of honor in your name, sir. So on behalf of the many students that you've taught, you've married and baptized, we thank you for all of your service above and beyond to all of McAllen, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what are the two kids from Roseville?
Yeah, that was a good way to end it.
We have school board appreciation. All right, moving on to item number 5. We will recess to close.
Should we, if we have students waiting for us, should we do the school board proclamation right
You
now?
make it a motion.
Everyone's here, right?
I'd like to make, Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Trustee Suarez.
I'd like to make a motion to move up 10A, please.
We have a motion to bring forth item 10A, approval of the proclamation regarding School Board Recognition Month. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Excuse me, you need a second to that?
Oh,
That was a motion to move it up, right?
Yes, sir.
So I second that motion?
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Vote before Danny gets here.
Bring forth item 10A, the approval of proclamation regarding School Board Recognition Month. Dr. Gonzalez.
I'm sorry, we need a motion on the
Need a
reorg.
vote on the motion.
We need a vote on the motion.
On the motion to reorg.
Can we get a vote on the reorg? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it 6-0. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. January is School Board Recognition Month in Texas, and we appreciate our trustees who devote so much of their time away from their families for the betterment of our students, our parents, our staff, and the entire McAllen ISD community. As a high-performing school district, it would not be possible to do the work that we do without the supportive, hardworking board that we have. So at this point, I would like to turn it over to, who's handling it on our?
Mr.
Mark May. There you are, Mark.
We usually sit here.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen of the board. As you just heard, each January we honor the community volunteers who serve on their local school boards. The 2023 School Board Recognition theme this year is Forward Together, and schools and communities succeed when everyone works together for a brighter future, parents, teachers, students, and school leadership. And the spirit was exemplified this last year when our school board became one of just 5 finalists in Texas for the HEB Excellence in Education School Board Leadership Award. We want to show our appreciation, and we have students representing our high schools and vertical teams who have some gifts for you, and they will also help me in reading our proclamation for School Board Recognition Month. Let's begin with Achieve Early College High, led by Student Council President Lauren Marquez.
Jenny, we normally stay.
Or we go.
No, it's easier for them. It's going to be one after another.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Hey, how are you? How's it going? Nice to see you.
Hi, what's your name? Haley? Haley, thank you very much. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And our chief students would like to get a picture with the board as well.
Everybody here? Everybody present? Ito's working the room.
No, I was just checking to see how long they can be here.
Very good. Big smiles, everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Very good.
And Ms. Marquez will read a short portion of the proclamation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laurie Marquez. So whereas the mission of the public schools is to meet the diverse educational needs of all children and to empower them to achieve their dreams as competent, productive contributors to our society in an ever-changing world.
Next up, we have.
Real quick. Board, can I get a motion to approve this proclamation? I have a motion by trustee Suarez and a second by trustee Peña. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it 7-0. Thank you.
All right, now we move to Lamar Academy. And Jake Sines, a member of the Superintendent's Ambassadors, will read a portion of the proclamation.
Whereas local school board members are committed to children and believe all children can be successful learners with the belief that the best education is student-centered and tailored to the needs of the child.
Yes, sir.
You can stop for the photo and then. Go up one more, guys.
Right there. Very good.
All right, let's move on to our McAllen High School vertical team, and representing them, of course, McAllen High School, led by Student Body Vice President Jenny Maldonado.
Whereas local school board members are strong advocates for children, parents, teachers, school district staff, plus community members, and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectations to the district.
Thank you very much.
Right here. You guys can step in the front. And you guys can hold the bags for now, and then we'll give them to the board members. One more step up.
Gavin's too tall.
Yeah, you go.
Molina. District teacher of the year. I know. Really?
All right, big smiles, everyone.
She's an amazing teacher. She's a rock star.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could call her or send her a text. Okay, all right. She probably left home at 5.
I know, I was actually, she's working always.
And now we'll move on to Memorial High School vertical team, and they are led by their student council president, Lori Henderson.
We urge all citizens to join us in recognizing the dedication and hard work of our local school board members and in working with them to mold an education system that meets the needs of children for both today and tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We're ready for Rowe High School, representing the entire Rowe Vertical team, and they are led by their student body president, Alejandra Llanos.
Now therefore, we do hereby declare our appreciation to the members of the McAllen Independent School District Board of Trustees and proclaim the month of January 2023 as School Board Recognition Month.
When I was in college, I got a gift. It was a time tree. Because I kept saying, I don't have time for that. So they gave me a time tree. I need one of those. Yeah.
All right.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to move up item 9A, McAllen Boys and Girls Club honoring McAllen ISD.
We have a motion to bring forth item 9A, the McAllen Boys and Girls Club honoring
Second.
McAllen ISD by trustee Alvarado and a second by trustee Saldivar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The ayes have it, 6-1. Dr. Gonzalez, item 9A.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. We do have our partners here from the McAllen Boys and Girls Club who do a tremendous job partnering with us. The CEO is here with us, Delinda Alcantar. The McAllen Boys and Girls Club has a special presentation to make, and Mr. Mark May from the Office of Marketing and Communication is here with more information. Mr. May.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, for many years, McAllen ISD and the McAllen Boys and Girls Club have had a successful partnership, and tonight, Ms. Kaylin Norman, the chair of the organization's annual gala, is here on behalf of the Board of Directors and Administration to make a special presentation. Ms. Norman.
Good afternoon, and it's so good to be here and to see everyone. So we're really excited about our gala this year because we are honoring McAllen ISD, and I understand there's some really good dancers in among this group, so there is going to be a dance-off, so we're really excited. On behalf of the board of directors, administration, and the 10,000 children and teens we serve every year, thank you, Dr. Gonzalez, the Board of Trustees, McAllen ISD, for working alongside us to accomplish the mission of the Boys and Girls Club of McAllen, which is to enable all young people, especially those who need us the most, to realize their full potential as responsible, productive, caring citizens. As gala chair, I have the unique and awesome privilege of helping our board select the annual honoree. We could not think of another partner better than our teachers, principals, coaches, support staff, executive personnel of McAllen ISD. Your commitment to supporting the whole child begins with an excellent academics supported in the classroom and for thousands of children each day, ends with a warm meal, homework help, cultivating mentors, sports, mental health support, and fun at the Boys and Girls Club. Our special recognition to the partners include Mr. Brian McClinley, his team, and all of the coaches for supporting the Elevent program. Lisa Cavazos, Director of the Outreach Strategic Partners, who help facilitate all the components of a successful partnership, as well as Ms. Cavazos, Principal at Thigpen Zavala, Mr. Navarro's Principal at Seguin, Ms. Montgomery, Principal at Roosevelt, and of course, all 6 of the middle school principals. With children and teens spending over 80% of their time out of school, it is imperative that the school district works with the quality out of out of school time providers like the Boys and Girls Club to provide a needed wraparound service. In fact, our partnership framework recently highlighted in the Texas Association of School Boards in San Antonio for the model that is being upheld across the state. Together, we continue to put the needs of our children at the center of what we both do, and I could not be more thrilled to formally recognize McAllen ISD as our gala honoree. Thank you.
Well, this calls for a picture. Come on up.
You ain't gonna cut fajitas from the other one.
There is. It's 80s themed.
Bring it on, baby. All right, we'll have you here right in the center. Take the first step. It's 80s over here.
I have parachute pants.
I do too. They have parachute pants in Hebron? We did it country style.
If y'all were smart, you would have gone to the Halloween shop during Halloween and bought the 80s outfit I did.
All right, big smiles, everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Thank you.
Hang on, hang on.
One more. Here it is. All right, big smiles, everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. Awesome. Thank you.
And you would have said, here's too late. He was, but he's not gonna teach you, so it's not.
Breakdancing summer.
That's it.
Just wear my regular clothes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to item number 5, the recess to closed session. The Board of Trustees may go into closed section pursuant to sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, and 551.089 of the Texas Government Code to discuss the following. A, discussion of the HR recommendations for school year 2022-23. B, discussion of human resource employee resignations for school year 22-23. Consultation with the attorney regarding complaint or charge against an officer or employee. Item 5D, board discussion to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee. 5E, discussion regarding school safety and security. 5F, pending and/or potential litigation. Or 5G, possible real estate acquisition. At 5:54, this board is now in closed session. It is 7:17, and this board will now enter open session. For the record, no action was taken while we were in closed session. Item 7A, discussion and possible action of human resource recommendations for school year 2022-2023.
So moved.
I have a motion by trustee Alvarado. Is there a second? Second by trustee Vela. Any comments, questions, concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it, 6-0. Item 7B, discussion of human resource employee resignation for school year 2022-2023. Human Resource submitting a list of resignations for the 22-23 school year under separate cover for discussion during closed session. That's for information purposes only. Item 7C, board discussion and possible action under Texas Government Code 551.074 to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee as discussed in closed session.
Mr. President,
Trustee Saldivar.
thank you. Mr. President, members of the board, it is based on the legal counsel's investigative findings received regarding a complaint and charge, identifying no findings against a McAllen ISD officer or elected official. I move that the Board of Trustees take no further action.
We have a motion by trustee
I'll
Saldivar.
second.
Is there a second? A second by trustee Alvarado. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it, 6-0. Item 7D, discussion regarding school safety and security. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. At this point, we have had audits conducted. We do have our captain here, should you have any questions with regard to any of our fencing audits or any of our door audits, but we have been doing well as a team, so I do want to commend our police department and everybody else that's been keeping our kids and our staff safe.
I just want to thank you for being at full force as a police department. That was important, so thank you.
No, I'm sorry, if I may, Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I do want to commend the board, because I know that this board has held the safety of our students and staff at the forefront from the beginning. Prior to all the events that have occurred, that's always been a priority for our school board. So it's a pleasure to work for a board that not only looks out for academic needs of our children, but their safety and their security first. So on behalf of the administration, the entire team, how about a round of applause for our board?
No, all of us,
Yeah.
your team too, sir. Your team is the one that deserves it. And actually, the police department for stepping up and identifying those holes, right, that we had. We had a few vacancies, and we're now at full capacity, so thank you.
And we are thankful, this being National Law Enforcement Day.
Absolutely.
I back the blue every day, guys, and I appreciate all your hard work and effort.
Mr. President, if I may.
Trustee Saldivar.
You know, we're all members of the Security Committee for the district. The board felt it necessary that we all, normally it's used one or two board members, but we chose that all of us would serve on it, along with members of this community, led by the chief and his department and the superintendent. And just so the community knows, we have one of the best police force that any community could have, whether it's a city, a county, any municipality, much less a school district that has 64 police officers, highly trained, licensed, highly motivated to do the right thing to protect each and every one of our children each every day. And this committee, we've had very candid conversations about every aspect of security of every one of our facilities in which our children are at. And there's been great discussion and a quick response by the superintendent, the chief, and his department to implement those almost before the meeting's even over. And so I just want to commend the superintendent and the police officer, and for the community to know the hard work and dedication these individuals have in making sure each and every child, each and every person, each and every staff member and community on our campuses are secure and protected. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Saldivar. I believe the phrase is mission first, people always. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for what you do. Item 7E, pending and/or potential litigation. Mr. Saldivar. No, Mike. Salazar.
None, sir. Mr. President.
Item 7F, possible real estate acquisition.
None that I'm aware of.
Thanks, Mr. Saldana.
It's my fault. I called the wrong name earlier.
Let's see.
Yeah, it was my fault, sir.
Call me Joe.
Ms. Felix, can you approve the PO for the new nameplate for
Yes,
council, please?
That would help.
Item 8, the superintendent report. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. On December 16th, 2022, the Sam Houston Elementary Minitropolis, affectionately known as Houstonville, celebrated its 25th grand opening. We were there to celebrate that. We have Minitropolis programs across our district. It's an amazing program, giving our kids a wealth of opportunities, and we have a short video that highlights the event.
So today we've invited our Minitropolis partners to help celebrate 25 years of Houstonville. We do have a couple of new businesses this year that we will showcase, including Noble Construction and South Texas Health System Hospital of McAllen. So the Minitropolis program aims to instill financial literacy, social and collaboration skills, and the entrepreneurial spirit in our young scholars. We also ensure that they are ready for the workforce by offering them and providing them an enriching environment and giving them skill sets to apply for jobs in the future.
All right, we've taken care of items 9 and 10. So we'll move on to item 12, the board member, board committee, and district reports. Instructional services briefing. The chair is trustee Sofia Peña.
I did attend the meeting.
So we'll check in with trustee Sam Saldiva. Thank you, ma'am.
On behalf of trustee Ms. Peña, on Thursday, January the 5th, the Instructional Service Committee met, and there were initially 2 items, but only one item's on the board tonight, which is item 12B1, report regarding the special education regional day school program for the deaf, and also STRIDES programs, which we're going to have that presentation shortly. But we also, Dr. De Hoyos took time to, it was a good hour discussion we had on a couple of items that are coming forth. One of them was the summer foreign studies program. And that's all I want to say about that, because that's coming in later. Huh?
It's the study abroad.
I know, but I didn't want to. I was trying to help you all out.
Nice try,
So much for you planning a surprise party.
There's a delay. We'll cut it out. Don't worry.
All right, study abroad program, and that's all we're going to say, because there's a lot to still be worked on, a lot of nuances, but I really appreciate the briefing on that. It's a really great program, and I don't want to take anything away from the superintendent or Dr. De Hoyos and the staff. The second item, it involves the McAllen ISD becoming involved with the Disability Chamber of Commerce of the Rio Grande Valley. Just for the record, I'm an advisor member of this Chamber of Commerce, and I'm glad to hear that this is going to be an opportunity for a pathway for finding employers that are willing to hire those with disabilities into their program. And there are many. There's one, Hashi's for one, that 10% of their staff they've dedicated are disabled individuals. And so I'm glad to hear that McAllen ISD is now going to be partnering. And just for the community to know, the Disability Chamber of Commerce, RGV, is committed to supporting local businesses in the Rio Grande Valley, identifying qualified, successful individuals for their team that includes individuals with disabilities. And the Chamber of Commerce is committed to an ongoing community engagement projects which will help support the programs, projects, networking, opportunities for employers to seek to learn the value of hiring employees with different abilities. And I think that's the key in the event. And so this works very good with the STRIDES program. We're going to hear more about it and more to come. I know Dr. Gonzalez sent a note earlier that it looks like we're reaching out. And for those in the community, it's only $20 to join. I suggest that you do and maybe attend some of their events, of which there's one coming up on the 19th. And you'll have an opportunity of how you may be able to work into your workforce hiring those individuals. It'd be really worthwhile to your organization. And that concludes our report.
Thank you, Trustee Saldiva. Item 12A2, Human Resource Briefing. Filling in for Chair Danny Vela is Marco Suarez.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've already discussed a couple of the items, which were the proclamation as well as the HR employment. But one of the things that we have coming up on the agenda is a resolution regarding the approval of the administrative efforts to withdraw from South Texas ISD to avoid duplication of taxation, which we are very supportive of, and I think it'll be some good discussion when we get there.
Thank you, Trustee Suarez. Item 12A3, discussion, district operations briefing. The chair is Trustee Alvarado.
No report. We didn't have a meeting this time.
Thank you, sir. Item 12A4, the business operations briefing. Chair is Trustee Aliceda.
No report.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 12A5, the board officer briefing. Trustee Suarez, myself, and Dr. Gonzalez had the chance to get together last Thursday via Teams, in which we discussed the outlay of what this agenda would look like, and that was all that we did. Moving on to item 12B1, the report regarding special education regional day school program for the deaf and the strides program. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. We have Mrs. Maribel Elizondo, our Executive Director for Special Education, who will provide information on the efforts to improve all services. And I'm very, very proud of how we work to meet the needs of all of our students, especially those that they need our help the most with regard to individual education plans. And excited to hear from her on our future needs of our students and all the wonderful things that are going on. This item is for information purposes only. Ms. Elizondo, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to present to you this evening. So with me today, I have Dr. Pitchford. She is our Special Education Director for Teaching and Learning. I also have Ms. Lisa Lara. She's our Director for Regional Day School Program for the Deaf. Here you see our logos along with our mottos for each of the logos. For our special education department as a whole, we make sure that we look at every student every day meeting their needs. For our RDSPD program, their motto is Reach, Succeed, and Dream. And then we have our Strides 18 Plus program that stands for Supported Transition and Road to Independence, the development and employment for students. The next one is how we support our campuses and our district. We make sure that we look at the 7 areas of compliance that include all evaluations, IEP development, content and implementation, transition, state assessment, and then overall make sure that we have a properly constituted ARD. This is to meet TEA compliance. On top of that, we look at our results-driven accountability, which looks at academic achievement. We also look at state performance, which takes care of our early childhood, child find process, post-secondary transition, making sure that we're serving students in our residential facilities, transition from elementary to middle school to high school to college or university, and then, of course, transition into our community. We also look at SELA, which stands for Special Education Language Acquisition for our DHH students. We make sure that every year we review our program to self-evaluate so we can always improve. And we do this by getting parent feedback, staff feedback, and a community input. Other areas that we take care of through our department is maintenance of effort, which looks at the money that we spent for our general ed students and ensuring that we're spending that equal amount on our students with special needs. We also take care of SHARS, Medicaid billing, scheduling support, staff development, CCMR, and of course our due process mediation and resolutions. Here you have a quick glance of our snapshot data enrollment for special education. In the blue, in 2017-18, you can see that we had 2,285 students. This year in gold, we are at 2,932 students. So you can see that every year we are serving more students with special needs in our district. So they're getting the support that they need. Instructional supports. As a department, we make sure that we go out to the campuses and we talk to administrators and review data and teachers to make sure that they're getting all the support and resources that they need along with students. We have special education coordinators. We make sure that those coordinators go out and they not only monitor ARD meetings, but they sit in the ARD meetings and they support both the campus and parents. We have them speak to attorneys, advocates. We give guidance on disciplines for students with special needs, student placements, and of course, supporting the high needs of our students. We also have SPED ESSER strategists that support campuses at the different levels, including differentiated strategies, master schedules, and staff studies. Here you'll see a quick glance of the trainings that we offer for parents throughout the year, the meetings that we offer throughout the year for our parents, and of course the district events that we hold as a department. Some of the professional learning supports that we provide are staff development, and those occur at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, and on a monthly basis. You'll also see a quick glance of all the monthly meetings that we have with our staff to ensure that every month they have TA updates, and we're making sure that they are providing all the support and all of the information through our TA compliance. So that's a quick glance. We also continue with our staff playbooks. This is not new. We make sure that we update them every single year. And we have our admin playbook, our counselor playbook, our teacher playbook, our evaluation playbook, and our RDSPD playbook. We also provide training at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of year. So we're very proud of those playbooks. McAllen ISD does have sensory rooms. You can see this is a list of our campuses that have current sensory rooms. And that is a picture of one of the elementaries that has a sensory room. One important thing to know about our sensory rooms is that they're not only for special education students, it's for all students. And the people that supervise these classrooms or times when students are in there can be an administrator, a counselor, a general education teacher, or a special education teacher. This is a setting that is not all day. This is a setting where it's for time periods as needed for any child that needs a break. Here we have our RSBD enrollment data. We do currently serve 24 districts, including McAllen ISD. And you can see that pre-COVID in 2018-19, we were at 317 students. Currently this year, we're at 306. Although we see a slight decrease in our RDSPD data enrollment, I'll just have you know that we are still considered the 5th largest RDSPD program in the state. Wow. So we are still serving several students. At the bottom, you're going to see our continuum of services for the RDSPD program. And the next slide shows pictures of our staff working with students from infants all the way till 21, 22 in our ISD Strides 18 Plus program. Here's our Strides 18 Plus program. We are in our 4th year, and you can see how much we've grown. In 2019, we started only with 3 STC courses, 48 students, 72 certificates, and we had students participating in different training sites. 2020, we added 4 additional classes, 58 students. We had 168 completion of continuing ed certificates, and we had 2 students that were left with paid employment. In 2021, we added an additional 3 classes, 61 students. We ended the year with 224 continuing ed certificates, 9 paid employments. This year, we added the recreation and fitness class. We have a total of 68 students. We are going to be having 228 completion of continuing ed hours with STC. Very, very proud. But look at this last one. Currently, this is not the end of the year. Currently, we have 24 students with paid employment. What a difference we are making in our students. Very, very proud.
And I do want to interject. I know that we have one of our former Stride students, and that's Mrs. Don't call her Jay. Right?
Miss Gully.
Miss Gully. Yeah, she made that very clear to me. But I do want to thank you, Ms. Elizondo, for all that you've done to grow that program, because it is the
Very
best in
proud.
the state, and it's only growing, and it's one of the ones that we're most proud of, because it's putting kids in a position to be independent, and that's just beautiful.
Ms. Jay Gully started this year. She is our first ex-student who graduated our Strides program and now is a McAllen ISD part-time employee at Strides.
Great job.
I just want to add that, very grateful for all the services that we provided. I know when my nephew had autism, and, you know, the Strides program was not even an option when he was elementary, junior high. So in short time, we've offered courses for him or opportunities for him and other students. And I think where we're headed to, and it's important to state, because I know I've talked to people in the community and as other board members as well too, is to continue to add that number 24 paid and skill set, where it's now going to start working with employers in the community. And I know there's already conversation, I'm jumping in, and I'm not saying anything, I just want the public to know that it's happening.
Yeah.
And under your direction, it's happening now. And so in a couple years, you know, we'll be able to see up there your added skills sets, so they can not only get paid, but continue to get paid over the course of time and have a career.
Correct.
And so we're headed there. And to say a couple years ago, or, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't think we were on this path, but under your direction, under Dr. Gonzalez and everyone else, we definitely are. So I just wanted to say thank you, thank you. We're not there yet, because in education, you never get there, right? You always keep pushing the envelope. But I like where we're going, and you really have accelerated this. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all that you're doing.
You're welcome. I couldn't do any of this without the support of the board and, of course, the ELT cabinet, because they're pushing us, they're pushing me, my department, to do more and more and more for our students. And this is extremely rewarding. This is
Absolutely.
why I do what I do.
And if somebody listening wants to work with you and partner with you, they can reach out to you, and
Oh,
you'll
100%.
gladly sit. Absolutely,
We'll
right?
welcome all the phone calls
Absolutely.
and meetings.
And
so
if
that
we need to
can
hire
partner
more
up
staff
with
to
them.
help that, I mean, we're here to give you the resource that you
Governance,
need,
sir.
because,
Governance.
well,
Governance.
that's, I'll put on the agenda on that.
I'd like to just say that, you know, we just referenced the Disability Chamber of Commerce, so that partnership also will help increase.
Yes.
hopefully those
I'll
numbers.
mention that right now.
Okay, I'm super excited.
Oh, well, we jumped.
So I
jumped
want to
the gun.
highlight this. This is a new class that we added this year. We have a partnership with what you all might know as UFC Gym here in McAllen, Special Fitness. And so our students from Strides go out there twice a month, and they're learning to get healthy, learning to use all the different equipment, and they're also training for Special Olympics.
Oh, nice.
So this is a new program that we're offering this year. Here are some of our department events that we've had for the first semester. In August, this was our first annual differentiating conference. This was an instructional service department, a service. All of us participated in this. It's not just special education. It was all special pops. And it was a target conference for differentiation for all elementary teachers, not just special education. And there's a picture of Walsh and Gallegos training all teachers on special education law. So everybody was learning. And then you have our ESSER strategist training teachers on differentiating strategies. In September, we had our first annual Deaf World. We invited all of our students and community members to this Deaf World so they could experience what it is, how to live in a world if somebody is deaf and hard of hearing. So that was a tremendous outcome and success. We also had our first annual Strides Christmas Social. And in this one, we invited other districts that have 18+ programs. They had come to visit McAllen ISD our first year, our second year, our third year. We even have requests this year. And they turned it around in their districts, right? Because it's not about a district thing. It's about doing what's best for all students who are 18+. So we invited them back. They attended our first annual Christmas social, and that's what it was. It was different students, 18 and over, getting together and socializing and meeting each other from different districts. It was a wonderful event. So very proud of that. Inclusion job fairs. We did attend our Texas Workforce Solutions the first semester, and that's a picture of our students who attended, and some of them did get employed. So we're going to continue to do that and have that relationship with Texas Workforce Solutions. In April, we are going to be attending the Disability Chamber of Commerce of RGV Inclusion Job Fair. So we'll take another group out there and hopefully get them jobs as well. Upcoming events, at the end of January, we have our Special Education Transition Fair. We're inviting all of our high school students with different disabilities to attend that transition fair. We have our second annual Autism Walk in March. And then, of course, we continue to have our Special Olympics events where we participate in bowling, basketball, and track and field. And something special about this year is that we do get to take our students to state for track and field in San Antonio this year. We have not done that since prior to COVID. So we're getting back out there. Another thing I wanted to highlight on the Special Olympics is that we did order and receive all of our new Special Olympic uniforms. And they're different. One is a set of uniforms for bowling, a different set for track and field, and a different set of uniforms for basketball. So our kids are out there proudly wearing their new Special Olympic uniforms. And that's all I have for you today.
That's it. Or does anybody have any questions for Ms.
It was a lot of
Elizondo?
information, sorry.
Trustee Saldivar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your presentation. And because of the body of work that's happened, dreams do come true at McAllen ISD. So thank you. The only question I had was, there were 15 elementary schools with
sensory rooms.
Sensory rooms in 2 middle schools. What's the plan to expand that to, because as you mentioned, rightfully so, I was good to hear that it was for all students. So what's the plans, if any, for the other campuses to have it?
So we started this a couple of years ago, and every year we just add more campuses. And that's the plan. We continue to add more elementaries, looking at space that's available, and then middle schools. So eventually, we will have sensory rooms, because again, it's for all students. It can be just a sensory break, a mental health break. Everybody needs that. Adults need that.
So is this accessible, available for staff as well, or is there an area for them?
So I know not many adults use this, but if it's available, there's nobody in there, by all means, they can.
And how are
It's
students?
a very quiet, relaxing place.
Sometimes just having a quiet space, away from your cell phone, away from others, and maybe the lights dimmed a little bit.
And so that picture, the lights are on, but it is a dimmed room, and there's covers on these lights, and so it's just very, it's very soothing, and you've got the quiet, smooth, soft music in the background, so it's like sometimes you're at a sauna or a spa, and so it helps everybody.
So you're saying we need a boardroom sensory room?
Yes, I would recommend some of the light covers.
As far as inclusion, what efforts are, prior to the COVID, there was training happen, and I was invited for one of them, and sat in the back of the room and listened, and I appreciate that, for helping teachers or educating teachers in mainstream classroom, for lack of a better way to say it, to bring in inclusive students with special needs. How is those trainings going along? Are we still able to do those?
Yes, so at our differentiated conference, one of the sessions was inclusion. We continue to provide inclusion support, inclusion trainings, not only to our special ed staff, but to all staff. Our campus special ed coordinators, when they're going out to the campus and looking at classroom setup, when they're looking at students' IEPs, these are conversations that occur every time. Not only our special ed coordinators go out there, but our ESSER strategists as well, the directors. We're always practicing inclusion and continue to provide trainings for everyone on the importance of inclusion.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Is the parent group still working? You had a parent group at one time. Is it?
Yes, so we've had meetings on that flyer prior. We have that posted on our website. It's towards the beginning, Dr. De Hoyos. It's one of the first ones, and on there it tells you the dates.
Okay, I didn't miss that. Sorry.
Let's see, hold on. It's that one, the colorful one, there you go. It tells you the dates. Actually, we're going to have another one on at the end of January. I think it says 29th of January, correct, Dr. Pitchford? And we have that in person and virtual, and we have discussions. We actually have a training that's going to be occurring based on parent input on more information that they want on transition. So we have a speaker coming out talking about transition, what as a parent, what they need to know, and then we just talk about topics for special ed, what's going on, what's current, what does your child need at a certain campus. So all parents are welcome to come because we have in person and or they can join virtually. So we do still have those. So we have the beginning of the year, the middle, and then the end of the year.
Excellent. Thank you again. Thank you for the body of work and for on behalf of those families. This is
welcome.
beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Saldivar. Any other comments? I would like to interject here a moment and thank Trustee Saldivar and Trustee Alvarado. 4 years ago, when Stride was just being discussed, you were the two that championed it the most for this board, and I certainly appreciate the efforts that you've done for all of these kids. And yeah, you're saying no, but it was you two that spearheaded it. So thank you, gentlemen, for your hard work and efforts.
Champion when you have the kids up there.
It is,
Yeah,
it is.
absolutely.
But without a champion, we don't have a kid up there. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. You mentioned that we were 5th in the RSD. What are the top 4 in front of us?
Ms. Lara, I do not recall the names of the districts. Would you know? The enrollment?
We're ahead, but who are we behind? Who are the 4 that we're behind?
Yeah, it's in enrollment. It's in enrollment.
It's in enrollment.
It's in enrollment.
Okay.
So we have Houston,
Okay.
Dallas,
All right.
Compete against them. Huh?
San Antonio. Yes, they're big. So they are subdivided,
Okay.
right? But us, as just one district, we are the 5th largest. And
Okay.
then they are the ones above us.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for your hard work and effort. Thank you so much.
Without 12,000 per day to, never mind, that's coming out.
Item 12B2, the report regarding intention to apply for technology lending grant through the Learning Acceleration Support Opportunities. That's LASSO. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. The Learning Acceleration Support Opportunities Program that provides grant funding.
What's that?
This item has been pulled.
10-4.
Sorry. Item 12B3, the report regarding the school board elections to be held on Saturday, May 6, 2023. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Mr. Todd Miller, our Assistant Superintendent for HR, will provide an update on the upcoming school board elections, and this item is for information purposes only. Mr. Miller.
Bear with me. Bring it up.
It's that wonderful time of the year.
For some of y'all.
Okay, so this is the report regarding the school board election to be held May 6, 2023. And I have with me tonight also Mr. John Weldy and Morales back there to answer any questions. Background information and reason for board consideration. The McAllen Independent School District Board of Trustees consists of 7 members serving terms of 4 years with the elections held biennially. The election for places 1, 2, 4, and 5 shall be held in 23 and 2027 and in 4-year intervals thereafter. School board election for places 1, 2, 4, and 5 shall be held on May 6, 2023. The election for places 3, 6, and 7 shall be held in 2025, 2029, and 4-year intervals thereafter. Candidate filing dates, it opens up on Wednesday, January 18th, 2023 at 8 a.m., closes Friday, February 17th at 5 p.m. Early voting will happen on Monday, April 24th, all the way through Tuesday, May 2nd. Excuse me. Early voting schedule is Monday, April 24th, as I said, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It is closed on Sunday, April 30th. Resumes on Monday, May 1st, and goes through May 2nd at 7 p.m., 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Early voting locations is Fireman's Pump House, Lark Community Center, and Palmview Community Center. Election day itself, Saturday, May 6th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Polling locations, Gonzales Elementary, Mac High, Victor Fields Elementary, Achieve, Lark Community Center, and Palmview Community Center. Here's the elections timeline for your review. I'll just go through a couple of them. Posted notice for candidacy was Monday, December 19th. We talked about the first day to apply for ballot by mail is Sunday, January 1st. And I'm just going to skip all the way down to the end. Let's see, canvassing, second to last item, Board of Trustees meets to canvass the elections Wednesday, May 17th. The declaring of results and new trustees are sworn in on Thursday, May 25th. Hidalgo County elections cost in 2023 is pending. We estimate $70,000. In 2021, it was $69,606. The rate increase due to county overall costs. You can see the other costs for the recent years. This is kind of a breakdown of those costs. And the biggest change was in personnel and payroll changes. Let me flip to that page. So comparing 2019 to 2021 elections, there were 19 more workers. Let me back up. There was 1,800 voters, more voters in 2021. 2021, they had 19 more workers they had to pay for, 6 more early voting clerks, and 13 election day clerks that they had to pay for. So that's why you see the cost, the jumping cost there. So we're projecting $70,000 for this year. And we have another agenda item coming up. It's a resolution, and that resolution would be used to get the contract, the questionnaire going in the contract coming back in probably about March timeframe.
Any questions for Mr. Miller? None heard. Thank you, sir.
Well, the resolution is, it's right now, right? I mean,
No, the resolution
another
is
item.
14B1.
where are we right now? I'm sorry.
We're at 12B3.
12B3, just the.
14B1, I would suggest move, if I may,
Move it up.
yeah, I move that we move up 14B1 for discussion by the board.
We have a motion to bring forth item 14B1. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Suarez. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it 6-0. Because I am a employee of Hidalgo County, I will recuse myself from this motion, and trustee Eliseda will handle the resolution.
Well, okay,
It's just a resolution. It's not a contract with Hidalgo.
yeah, but there's a presentation here,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
No, there's no presentation for the
All right,
actual
then,
resolution.
if that's the case, Madam President, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the resolution ordering the election for trustees in the McAllen Independent School District to be held on Saturday, May the 6th, 2023.
Is there a second?
I'll second. And just with a comment, though, I at some point down the road, I hope the city and us come together and have one election, because it's still problematic at times to go vote, and 2 separate elections. Sometimes the numbers don't coincide, and it's usually not in our favor. So that's not us. I like Hidalgo County. I like the way they do it, and I think hopefully down the road we're able to sit down with them and come together. But that's neither here nor there. So I did second it, ma'am.
Point of order, Madam Chairperson, in this, in Mr. Trustee Saldivar's motion, I think that the places need to be called just so that we know what the resolution is.
You're absolutely correct. And so I amend the motion to include that there are 4 positions of the Board of Trustees in the McAllen Independent School District to be filled at such election, such positions being as follows, and the terms set forth after the respective positions. Position 1 for 4 years, position 2 for 4 years, position 4 for 4 years, and position 5 for 4 years. And that is my amendment to the previous motion.
And I'll accept the amendment, because we will need an election, because I know place 2 will be open, which will be mine.
Is there any further discussion?
I do believe that we also have to announce the approval of the polling sites, times and dates.
Wouldn't that be after the?
That could be a separate motion, actually, but if we could do that as a separate motion, because it's listed in the resolution as a separate motion. But you're absolutely correct, we have to list that too.
Okay. I will step back.
Mr. Miller, just to be clear, are we voting on just the resolution, or are we voting on the contract with Hidalgo County? I think we're just voting on the resolution this
Just the
evening.
resolution, and we'll take the resolution, send it to the county, and it will get a questionnaire, and they'll use the questionnaire to make the contract, which will be about March sometime.
Okay. So is there any further discussion?
Oh, ma'am.
So it's been moved by trustee Saldivar, it's been seconded by trustee Alvarado. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So the record is 5-4, 0 against, and 1 abstaining.
Madam President, second motion is I move that the following election day polling centers be approved, and I'll do 2 motions, one for the election day and the other one for the extended day. Location, Gonzales Elementary at 2001 East Martin Avenue. Lark Community Center, 2604 Lark Avenue. Achieve Early College High School at Lincoln, 1601 North 27th Street. Palmview Community Center, this is 3401 Jordan Road. McAllen High School, which is at 2021 La Vista Avenue. And Fields Elementary, which is at 500 West Dallas Avenue. Again, this is Election Day polling centers, which is Saturday, May the 6th, 2023, and the times would be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Second.
Second with, it was 5-0, 1 abstention.
On the
Minor
previous
Vice
vote.
President.
Give it to him, pobrecito.
Actually, I'm going to give the second to trustee Suarez. I heard him first. Is there any further discussion?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we have a motion by trustee Saldivar and a second by trustee Suarez regarding the locations, times, and dates of the May 6th election. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Record shows 5 in favor, 0 against, and 1 abstaining.
Correct.
Madam President, now for the, again, the May 6, 2023 election. These are the main election voting places, which would include early voting. Location, Fireman's Pump House, 201 North First Street. Palmview Community Center, 3401 Jordan Road. Lark Community Center, 2601 Lark Avenue. And again, these are Monday, April 24, 2023, Tuesday, April 25th, 2023, Wednesday, April 26, 2023, Thursday, April 27th, 2023, and Friday, April 28th, 2023, from the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Following that, now we move on to the Fireman's Pump House, 201 North First Street, Palmview Community Center, 3401 Jordan Road, and Lark Community Center at 2601 Lark Avenue. This is for Saturday, April the 28th, 2023, from the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
I don't have it, I'm sorry. I don't have one to show up there.
And then we have Fireman's Pump House, 201 North First Street, Palmview Community Center, 3401 Jordan Road, and Lark Community Center, 2601 Lark Avenue. These are Monday, May 1st, 2023, and Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023, from the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And that concludes the motion, Madam President.
Go ahead, Nico.
No.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Saldivar, a second by trustee Suarez regarding the early voting locations, dates, and times. Is there any further discussion?
Can you please repeat no, I'm just joking.
All in favor?
Fireman?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Let the record reflect that 5 in agreement, 0 against, and 1 abstaining. And I believe that's the end of our motion.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Moving on, item 12B4, the report regarding the monthly financial and investment report for November 2022. Ms. Felix, our Assistant Superintendent for Business Operations, please take the floor.
Thank you. For the month of November 2022, year-to-date actual revenues totaling $85,803,223. Expenditures totaling $81,190, with revenues over expenditures of $4,803,033. Our investment portfolio has an ending market value of $164,722,205 for the month of November, with our average yield to maturity at 3.136%, which we are seeing some increases, which is great. A couple of months ago, I was reporting 0.09, so it's pretty good. As far as our interest for the month of November, we have interest earnings of $412,025.38, and that concludes the report.
Thank you, ma'am. Any comments, questions? You did such a great job. Let's skip over to 12B5, the report regarding the taxes collected, and I'll let you take it again.
For the, there we go. For the month of November, we had total taxes collected totaling $9,648,667.48. Current being $8,553,583.31, and delinquent at $1,069,372. Our percentages over the period are slightly lower than at this time. However, that is expected to level out, but we will continue to monitor as we move forward. And that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Item 13A, this is the consent agenda item. Possible action on the request for proposal 2021-1005, professional development site licenses, supplemental materials, and other related products and services. Administration solicited proposals from vendors to provide these products and services on an as-needed basis. They've been reviewed by Dr. De Hoyos, our Assistant Superintendent for Instructional Services, Ms. Alexandra Molina, the Director of Children Nutrition and Purchasing Services, And administration is recommending action on this item.
Move to approve.
We have a motion by trustee Suarez. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second by trustee Peña. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it 6-0. Moving on to 14B2. Discussion and possible action on the resolution regarding South Texas ISD. This is presented by Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. The administration would like to present to the board a resolution to eliminate the South Texas ISD's taxing authority and bring them into equitable funding. Mr. Todd Miller, our Assistant Superintendent for HR, is available to answer any questions, as am I, and we are requesting action on this
Move
item.
to approve.
Second.
A motion by trustee Suarez and a second by trustee Aliceda. Does anybody have any questions?
I do have some discussion, something that I wanted to discuss, and I just want to make it very clear, and I think I speak for most of us here, is that this is not anything against South Texas ISD as an entity, or any of their board members, or any of their administrators, or any of their educators, or any of their students. I think they do an excellent job in what they do. This is about fair funding for all of us. I know I was reading an article today, and it talked about Representative Terry Canales. I've also had discussions with Representative Sergio Munoz Jr., who has actually drafted the legislation already and is going to introduce it. And it seems like our legislators are listening to the inadequate funding that public schools are having. And I think it's important for this board to continue to pave the way for other boards to voice their concerns about the funding that we have. And if that we're held to the same standards as other schools and we're competing against them, then we need to be on the same playing field. I think it's unfair when their funding mechanism is almost 2-to-1. And resources that they're able to give their students that we're not able to give ours. I think it's important for us as a board to stay solid together and come together with boards across our region to continue to fight for inadequate funding that public schools are getting. So,
Thank you, trustee Suarez. Any other comments?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Trustee Saldivar.
You know, it's about equity. We have 10 students, as I understand it, that attend South Texas ISD, and I just want to make sure that those students, their instruction and their curriculum doesn't change, and it should not, because the funding base for per child from the state should be equitable and should be the same. Now, having said that, there are differences between large school districts and small school districts. And the majority of the school districts are small. That means they're probably under less than 2,000 or 3,000 students. And then you have the larger school districts, which, right, wrong, or indifferent, McAllen does fall into the larger school district, even though we're only 20,000, and their district's much bigger than ours and some of the other metropolitan areas. But the equity is that for every child, whether you're in a large school district or small, whether you're adjoining or crossing over or linked up with a school district that was established to do something totally different from what it is today, there still needs to be a review, and it's good to see that the legislature is taking that opportunity to review those inequities throughout the system of funding. And this is one that has been identified as inequitable, not just for us, but another school district that's in that same area, so that everyone has a fair and equitable amount of funding available to them, so that the respective school districts can properly administer the curriculum program that is needed by those children in those communities. And so I think this is one of many steps that have taken place by the legislature to do so. We have to remember that the school district is locally governing and overseeing a specific area, and it's a branch. It is derived from the rights given to it by the legislature, who oversees public education and enforcing the Texas Constitution of ensuring equitable, adequate, and efficient administration of an education for all citizens of Texas. And so what this motion tends to do is assure that that step is being followed and that it is being applied. The issue that isn't being addressed and needs to be addressed by the legislature is, and I think there is some discussion in this motion or in this resolution, is the tax values. Because even though the tax when we're talking about, you're talking about the tax rate has gone down. We were at once $1.65 at one point. We're less, what, $1.04? But the appraised value went up. So nobody saw any real tax relief. So that has to be taken into account as well to make sure that's equitable for all property owners as to how taxes are collected and then distributed to all the various entities within the state to include public education. So look forward to voting for this. Thank you.
And just
Thank you, Trustee Saldívar. Trustee Alvarado.
Just to tag to the two comments already made, and I concur with all their comments. I did not know that in 1964 it was created as a Rio Grande Rehabilitation District and to support, students with disabilities in the region. And I know they do that already, but if they did something out of the ordinary that we're not doing, for example, the job training that we were discussing, if they were the hub of doing something like that, I would absolutely understand the difference of pay, because it would be expensive, because for that job training, especially with children with disabilities, it requires a little bit more investment, because you're going to have train them there at the school, then have someone, go. If they're doing something like that, great. And so if they want to continue and want support, I would welcome that if they were, become a hub of that. Outside of that, Trustee Suarez pointed out, 12,600 average day to our, to our average about 6,800. That's not a good mix. So for those reasons, I'm going to support the resolution.
Thank you, Trustee Alvarado.
I will say, Trustee Suarez, when he used the word competing, I like that because, and back to what Trustee Saldivar and Trustee Alvarado mentioned, South Texas ISD was initiated in 1964 not to compete with us. And it has evolved and grown into something else, and enrollment is an issue, and I don't think that we should be competing with South Texas ISD. So I'm looking forward to voting for this as well.
Awesome.
I mean, I concur with everybody. It's a good thing.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, with that being said, we have a motion by Trustee Suarez and a second by Trustee Aliceda. I will say that after that great article done by Matt Wilson in the newspaper today, I did have other districts reach out and say, you guys have it first on the agenda, but we support you 110%. So we'll take a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The ayes carry that 6-0. Item 14D1, discussion and possible action of the McAllen Independent School District December budget amendment for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023. Administration is recommending the approval of the December 22 budget amendment. We have a motion by Trustee Suarez. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Trustee Saldívar. Comments, questions, concerns, queries? None heard. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It is 6-0. Board of Trustee items. Approval of the Board of Education minutes. Administration is recommending action on this item. 14E1, the special board meeting of December the 12th, 2022 at 4 p.m., the regular board meeting of December the 12th, 2022 at 5 p.m., and the School Safety and Security Committee meeting December the 16th of 2022 at 5:30 p.m.
So moved.
We have a motion by Trustee Alvarado and a second by Trustee Suarez. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes carry it 6-0. Schedule of future meetings. Future regular board meeting, January 23rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. Regular board meeting, February the 13th, 2023 at 5 p.m. And a regular board meeting for February 27th, 2023, 5 p.m. I'd like to ask administration to review that February 13th meeting. February the 14th, we have McAllen Day at the state capitol. So I think a lot of us might be out of pocket. So if we can review that date, maybe jump it up to February the 6th, that's something that is up for administration. No need to, well, it's close to Valentine's Day too. No need to go into closed session. No need to come back to open session. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion by Trustee Suarez and a second by Trustee Peña. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, 6-0 at 8:11. This meeting is now adjourned.